The larger part nowadays are gay, both sexually unbiased. They do peculiar things in their home, and young fellows have gone out shouting to move away from them in their mentorship. They're seeing someone's open. And they've been open. Smith family have been in the information for some reasons from individual to private and individuals, attempting to uncover them for their wound elements. Yet it seems as though Jaden is at long last become irritated to manage all the show back home as he's going crazy. And uncovering his own family, as of late Jaden emerged with a disclosure that he and Willow ended up being sexually open since they were raised by their folks. This way, this hazardous disclosure has shaken media outlets to its center. Stay tuned for all the show, since we have all the deets to run with. So we should get into it. The entertainer turned artist Jaden Smith has been known for his strength in both style and vocation. He gives his folks, Will and Jada Smith, all the credit for training him to embrace himself and to genuinely feel comfortable in his individual. In a meeting with Nylon magazine, Jaden said, "The best illustration I've gained from my folks is to act naturally, no matter what, regardless of anyone's thought process, however sweet. As it sounds, things seem to be not quite so clear as the celebs make them to be." Tokyo Tony separated the relational intricacies pleasantly in a meeting with Night and Day Talk Media. They're into 3 children. Powers, the 2 of them are sexually open. The children are both sexually open. The entire family is sexually unbiased. We should not fail to remember what happened to Jada's little girl a couple of years back. She was involved with a completely mature man, 2 times her age. Jada's girl was on a bed around quite a while back. Quite a while back, man. Tony made sense of that. Willow was not even confronted when the youngster security administrations were called. And it is all because of the nurturing style of her folks that have curved the qualities for her. It's generally expected sense that youngsters who are raised in a harmful family end up being poisonous too. And that is not all. Tony guesses that Will and Jada carry out these unfathomable things just to remain at the top in Hollywood. And that is exceptionally easy to envision. Or is it now we as a whole know realize that Will and Jada don't have a traditional marriage? Will affirmed in a meeting with GQ magazine that he and Jada are in an open marriage, conceding they were both hopeless. And obviously something needed to change. However, their perspectives about marriage itself are very customary. No doubt we've given each other trust and opportunity, with a conviction that everyone needs to figure things out in marriage. For us can't be a jail. Will make sense of his contorted way of thinking in a meeting with Oprah Winfrey. Straightforward thought is you love an opportunity with everyone aside from your accomplice companionship versus conjugal jail. Who will most certainly shouldn't have hitched, assuming that he accepts that marriage promises are nothing. Jail, except for this, gives us a window to take a gander at how bizarre the family would be that experienced childhood in a family where marriage is of no worth. A few insiders in the business, for example, Panther privileges, have likewise made sense of that. Behind the shut entryways of the Smith chateau, a few things happen that no rational man might want to encounter. Things in their home, and young fellows have gone out shouting to move away from them in their mentorship. Jag even called the phony marriage among Will and Jada and humiliation. For every one of the genuine relationships on the planet, they actually need to accept that that farce of a ___ marriage is genuine. It's somewhat unreasonable, assuming you request that we have a relationship with your children companion and examine straightforwardly with your better half. Yes, you heard that right. Jada Pinkett Smith has a set of experiences with Jaden's companion, and she just broadcasted her grimy clothing so that all the world could find in the red casual conversation and trap. Yes, of relationship. Yes, it was a relationship totally. Well, taking everything into account, it's very improper for a spouse to discuss her mystery tries with her better half, particularly on live TV. Yet Tony, who has some insider data, uncovered that August Alsina was involved with both Jada and Will And for that reason, Will isn't distraught with envy over his significant others undertaking the kid. Just did to the two of them, we should not play that August kid was with Roosevelt. In spite of this contorted, unscripted TV drama, there's one more sort of show that is yet to arrive at revelation, is Jaden was attempting to escape the house even before he turned 16. Presently one could ponder exactly the thing was going on in that house that made it underage high-profile youngster get so frantic to get out that he petitioned for liberation. And could we notice that liberation is initially implied for kids that are being mishandled actually or intellectually, or both people in general, is fairly persuaded about the family tea Tony only spilled for reasons unknown. I can imagine how could August Jaden's companion live in the Smith family when Jaden was liberated and moved out at age 15. Wouldn't August have been residing with Jaden and not with Will and Jada? It's a good idea that he was there for Will and Jada, essentially fostered a connection to her entrapment that is where open relationships go left. And Tony has the solution to this million-dollar question, you know what, since he presumably __. By his daddy, it seems as though some provocation is at the play in light of the fact that the dad has been gotten effectively kissing his child on the lips, however advancing the film. After Earth, Will Smith smacked a wet kiss all the rage. While that host was delivered, confused with his way of behaving, yet that was not whenever something like this first has occurred. Jaden himself uncovered that it was a normal event alive all the time. Taking everything into account, the experience of watching the episode was unimaginably upsetting on the off chance that a dad kissed his little girl, like that, getting her face, putting his hands around her neck, holding her down, while she is attempting frantically to pull away. I would be sickened. And stress that he may be manhandling her. I have similar worries in this present circumstance. Tokyo Tony isn't coming sluggish. She has offered a few amazing comments about the slapping occurrence at the Oscars. She guaranteed that the occurrence was poop in the first place. However, the smack was surprisingly genuine. That was a genuine smell. You all don't understand it, you all believe. That is my was phony in this. And third, they switched turnaround brain science on you. She backtracked to a couple of years before the Oscars and recalled the plan the Smith couple was on. They believed individuals should blacklist the Oscars for reasons unknown. And Tony thinks it was a mental stunt for individuals to get a profound impression of them. She likewise ponders that it was fairly peculiar that each male humorist savaged Will in their show. Perhaps it was the ideal time for Chris to bring down Will and obliterate his profession. And we as a whole know the kinships in the business are not the genuine ones each. __, Jokester butted in return and pay attention to Mike Epps at the Morning Meal Club. I said oop. I realized it seems as though Chris had a significant impact of the parody local area to make them talk poop about willing their shows. And Will had his impact flawlessly. So it's protected to accept that the Smith couple was onto something or scared of something getting uncovered. So they decided to get dropped off subject. Will slap Chris to drop himself on F. And reason he realized he planned to begin getting uncovered. Remember, Will and Jada and Chris picked an entryway. Jaden and Willow endured, nevertheless enduring, as a result of their folks' childish needs, debilitated in one more episode with red casual conversation. Smith faced his mom about her absence of nurturing treatment that both him and Willow got all through their young life. At one point, Willow communicated that as the offspring of a VIP, she believed she generally must areas of strength. For B wasn't permitted to show feelings. Smith concurred with her, expressing, once upon a time, assuming that I would have been crying or had been disturbed. The energy was dependably similar to take that elsewhere, like take that elsewhere, and manage with it all alone, yet individuals. Except that the two kids realize what went down in that house, and how terrible the maltreatment was. The climate Jada has made in her home is simply to bring in cash off her family show, including her youngsters. It doesn't take a virtuoso to realize that there isn't a lot of truth to what they're talking about there by any stretch of the imagination, as a fan generous summarized it, saying Jaden needed to move out at 17 and free himself. Willow doesn't actually reside close to her folks. They realize what happened in that house, so enveloped with themselves they didn't actually focus on the thing their children were going through. Willow used to cut herself, and Jada didn't have any acquaintance with it. However, they should be so close except if Jada did be aware and involved it for the red casual conversation. That is all there is to it for now, people. Until next time, farewell.